Sergeant America here, boom! We make these videos and we definitely hope people watch them. And I'm here to say that there's a healthy amount of us out there watching them. Uh, if we remember them, that's the other thing. We do see a lot of videos. I'm definitely thankful for being on the comic book roundtable. There's so many people giving input on there. You hear about so many different books. And then you meet people and there's all these different channels. So you start watching the channels and you come across some great books and some great reviews. And that's what kind of led me to this. I went back to my hometown. And it's, the kind of the small hometown, and there is a mall, and it's kind of a smaller mall, and it's got a knockoff store in there. And I went through, and it's a lot of old books, but they happen to have some trades, and I'm looking through, and then one catches my eye that I remembered from a video, and it's a wonderful book. Boom. Joe the Barbarian. Written by Grant Morrison, art by Sean Murphy. I mean, it's two just colossal names in the industry. It's a story about Joe Manson. He's just a kid, 13 years old, and his pet rat, Jack. The thing is Joe is a type 1 diabetic kid. And if he has too much sugar, he needs an insulin shot. But if he doesn't have enough, he starts hallucinating. And that's the problem. Joe needs sugar bad. Joe is all the way up in the attic in his room, and Joe is starting to crash. He starts getting so bad it's to the point of hallucinations, and he's never been to that point before. Luckily, his rat, Jack, turns into a knight and assists him along. He's got toys to help him, but the world and the environment around him is against him. It sounds kind of cutesy. I mean, it's a kid who's in a fantasy realm, and a lot of it is great. But the problem is Joe doesn't get his sugar, Joe dies. And that's the thing that we do keep touching on, and not in a beat you over the head sort of way, but in a this might become tough to read sort of way. And it was. I read Rat Queens twice that week. Joe I had to read in between different books because Joe was a little too real for me. I'm type 2 diabetic and I've never been that bad, but you could see it, and definitely the way Morrison wrote it and the way Murphy puts it on the paper. Sometimes it's too real, sometimes it's tough, and it is a phenomenal story for that. Running with comics made me feel how tough it was, and when I read it, I experienced it. And so I guess that's the thing that I would hope that you would get out of it is the depth of the story. I mean, it's and maybe it affects me just more than others. It's the thing about building a book up. Can you ever live up to it? It was a great book, great art, and it's just one of those things that sometimes when people do the reviews, maybe it's not so much about what they show you, maybe it's not so much the words, maybe it's just the emotion, and that's definitely what I felt with this book. Joe the Barbarian. There is still a lot more to the story of Joe, and I definitely don't want to spoil it, but I just wanted to let you know that, Run with Comics, keep putting out those videos. Everybody else out there, keep telling us about what you love and what you're experiencing. It's amazing what a book can do. So, with that, catchphrase.